Okay, so by now most people have seen the images and the videos of Senator Alex Bada from California being forcefully removed from a press conference that was hosted by Secretary Christy Nom, DHS Secretary Christy Nom. Now, it's important that you see it again with your own eyes, so you get a sense of what you take away from it. Now, Republicans are saying that Senator Bada deserved it, that was disrespectful of him to do that. You have Democrats that are supporting Senator Bada. Senator Bada himself, as he's been reflecting in interviews, said something very simple, and that is, imagine if they're capable of doing something like that to a United States senator that simply has the audacity to ask a question, because that is what he's doing. He's asking a question. Imagine what else they can do to others. So I think no matter where one stands, there's a very clear pattern that should concern everybody. And that is that we have been seeing over the course of the last couple of months an administration that is very deliberately silencing dissent, and trying to crush the opposition. They've done it to members of Congress. Of course, they've done it to students. We know that they're capable of doing to a senator that was asking a question. And the truth is that the first thing that I thought about when I saw all of this is that it took me back to 10 years ago, because none of this is new. This is always part of the plan. 10 years ago, this reminded me of what I was seeing on my screen when my father, who back then was an anchor for Univision, Jorge Ramos, it reminded me of what I saw then, which was my dad being forcefully removed from a press conference for asking Donald Trump a question. Now, this happened when he was covering the 2016 presidential campaign, and in that moment, Donald Trump threw him out of the press conference because my dad was asking a question. One of the many things that Donald Trump said then was, go back to Univision. And that is at the core of what we're seeing here. In many ways, that was a prelude to what was to come. They've been telling Americans for a long time what their vision is, and what is happening now, including the ICE raids and the workplace raids and detentions. If you really think about it, it's not necessarily new. What is new is the way in which it is all being manifested. Now, the way in which they're doing it, which is they're trying to test how far they can go and how much Americans can take, how far they can take the cruelty, It's the execution of it all. And it's not necessarily the military force and the show of force that should scare us, which it should scare us, because that can truly escalate into violence quickly. What is also very concerning is what's at the root of it all. And it all comes down to an ideological battle. It all comes down to Stephen Miller, what he said 3 days ago, which is that this, for them, for the Trump administration, this for them is about fighting for civilization. That's what he said. This for them is about preserving the West. And remember that all of this is taking place with an administration that is, as we speak, trying to redefine who is or who is not American enough, who deserves or does not deserve to be part of the United States. Remember that they're even debating birthright citizenship as we speak. And so this 10 years ago was already happening. It was a warning. We're seeing it now. It's happening now. And so again, this is less about Donald Trump, and this is a moment of reckoning for every single American, Republican, Democrat, journalist, Wall Street executives. This is a moment of reckoning about whether or not we are starting to recognize what this country is turning into.